Good morning, friends. I hope everyone is doing well. I request everyone to watch my videos in a sequence for better understanding. If you really like my teaching and my efforts, please press the like button, share the videos with your friends, subscribe to my channel, and also press the bell button to get the regular updates. In this video, I want to discuss about how to find the maximum transmission unit in a path. Suppose you are sending a data from source to the destination. Obviously, it has to traverse via a path with the help of some routers. Am I right? Now, the source and destination is very far away with each other. You have a source R and you have a destination D. They are very far away and they are connected by a router R1 and router R2 and then destination. Now, what is the MTU? Maximum transmission unit for any computing device. Now, let's take that MTU of this one, let's take that is 500 bytes. Means the source can able to send a packet of 500 bytes maximum. Now router is 100. Let's take that 100 bytes. Router R2 is 200 bytes. Am I right? And destination is having the maximum transmission unit is 300 bytes. Let's take that. Now what will happen? Suppose let's take that source does not know this entire path MTU. Am I right? What is the router R1 maximum transmission unit, router R2 maximum transmission unit, and destination maximum transmission unit? Obviously, destination maximum transmission unit does not reflect because destination has to receive it. It does not need to forward the packet. Okay, when the MTU will come into the picture, when the router R1 has to forward the packet to the next hop, then how much bytes of one packet it can send? Suppose source is sending 500 bytes of packet, it cannot send more than 100 bytes. Then what it will do? It will fragment this packet into multiple packets and then it will forward it. That concept we'll call it as fragmentation. Am I right or wrong? In the earlier videos, I have discussed about fragmentation in detail. Now come to the point. If source know that the MTU of router R1, R2 and destination, then obviously it can send the packet among the least value among them. Suppose if source send 100 bytes packet only, it can send 500 bytes. If it sends, let's take that. First we'll discuss if it sends 500 bytes of packet to the router R1, what will happen? It will do the fragmentation because its capability is up to sending up to 100 bytes only. So it will make it into multiple packets and then it will send to router R2. Now router R2 capability is 200 bytes maximum transmission unit. Will it do reassemble? No, it will not do it. Why? The fragmentation will be done at the intermediate routers and the reassemble will be done at the destination only. So router R2 will forward the 100 bytes packets only to the destination. Now if source came to know that the least MTU of the path is that 100 bytes, then it will send the packets of 100 bytes only. Then what is the advantage? There will be no fragmentation because if it send 100 bytes, then router R1 can send 100 bytes of packet. It will not do any fragmentation, it will send. And even router R2 will send to the destination. Am I right? So if source know the MTU of all these routers and the destination, okay, then it can able to find the minimum among them and send the packet size of that minimum value. In this case, if it sends a packet of size 100 bytes, then no need to do the fragmentation because fragmentation and reassemble is a complex process and it will take lot of time. And one more problem is that if you are making it as a single packet and into multiple fragments P1, P2, P3, P4, P5, you are doing the fragmentation. If one of the fragmented packet is lost also, then source need to send the entire packet again. Am I right or wrong? Because you are making a single packet into multiple small packets and sending. If one of the packet lost also, the complete information the source has to send to the destination again. So that is the drawback of fragmentation. Is it clear? One is that it is a complex process. If one of the fragment lost also, the source need to send the entire packet. Now we will try to find the MTU of the entire path, and then we will find the minimum value. How it can be done is that with the help of ICMP packets. Now let me discuss how it will be done. You have a source S, and you have a R1, and you have a R2, and you have a destination D. And source MTU is there, as we discussed earlier, is 500 bytes. This is 100 bytes. This is 200 bytes. And this is how much? 300 bytes. Okay. Now source S will send a echo packet. And the size of the echo packet is 500 bytes. Means some data it will send as a 500 bytes, because it can send a 500 bytes of packet. It is not doing any fragmentation. That is what I said. At the source we will do the segmentation such a way that it will be sent by the data link layer as a single packet. Okay. And it will even keep the don't fragment field as 1. When we are discussing about the IPv4 header format, we said that we have 3 flags. One is 0 value, always it is, and we have a DF don't fragment, and we have MF, which is more fragments. DF will say that if you keep the DF value is 1, then meaning is that source is exclusively saying that don't fragment this packet. Now if router R1 receives that packet, there is a DF value is 1. Without fragmentation it cannot send to the destination. But as the DF value is 1, the source is saying that you don't fragment the packet. Now router R1 cannot fragment it, and it even cannot send the packet as a single packet. Then what the router R1 will do? It will drop the packet and will send a ICMP packet to the source that this is my MTU. That's why I could not able to send your packet. Am I right or wrong? So it will create a packet of 500 bytes and keep the value DF value is equal to 1 and send to the destination. Obviously it has to receive to the router R1, and router R1 cannot able to send a packet. It will generate a ICMP packet and provides the information that there is a parameters problem is there. You have kept the DF values 1 and my MTU is 100 bytes only. Because of this reason, I am not able to forward your packet to the destination. Then source is coming to know the router R1 MTU. Are you able to understand? By this way, source is coming to know the router R1 MTU as 100 bytes. Okay. Then what it will do? Can you able to tell me? I think with this example we will not able to do it. Let me make it. This is 50 bytes. Okay. Then it will be better, so that you will come to know all that one. And here it is some 300 bytes something is there. Okay. Now what will happen? Next time source will generate a packet of 100 bytes only, because it knows that router R1 can send a packet of 100 bytes, and again it will keep the DF value is equal to 1. Are you able to understand it or not? Then it will send. Router R1 can able to send the packet successfully because it has 100 bytes. It can send it. But coming to the router R2, what is the problem? This can send a packet of maximum 50 bytes. But it is generating a packet. Source is sending a packet, or a router R1 is sending a packet of 100 bytes, and even it has kept the don't fragment value as 1. The meaning is that you should not fragment it, and the router R2 could not able to send a packet of 100 bytes because it has to do the fragmentation. So what the router R2 will do is that it will generate a ICMP packet, provides the information that there is a parameters or problem is there and my MTU is there, and it will send to the source. Now in this way source will come to know that router R2 MTU is 50 bytes. Are you able to understand? Now what the source will do next time? Okay. Now what the source will come to know about the router R2, it came to know. Now what you have to do is that source has to send the packet of 50 bytes only. Am I right? Now if it sends to the 50 bytes, router R1 will receive the packet and it will be able to send it because it's is 100 bytes. This is 50 bytes. Okay. And it can able to send, it can able to the destination. Now destination can successfully receive this packet. Am I right or wrong? Okay. So because router R2 can able to send the packet and no need to do the reassemble at the destination. But how the source will come to know that the packet has been delivered to the destination? It has to know about the MTU value, or it has to know that the destination is there. After router R1, router R2, the destination is there. That source has to understand, because if the packet has been delivered, the source will understand that whether it has been delivered to the destination or the ICMP packet has been dropped, the source will be in a confusion. Am I right or wrong? So what will happen? Now what the source will do is that whenever it is generating the echo packets and sending the information, every time it will keep the source port and destination port. Am I right? Because the source will have the transport layer, obviously it has the application layer, transport layer, network layer, data link layer and physical layer if it is using the TCP model. If it is using the OSI model, it will have all the 7 layers. Okay, so at the transport layer, the source will keep the source source port number and destination port number. What port number it will keep at the source? It will keep a random value from 49,152 to 65,535. Between this, it will keep some random value at the source. And destination port, what it has to keep? Based on what application it is using, whether it is using the HTTP protocol, whether it is using the SMTP protocol, whether it is using the telnet, what protocol it is using, based on that one, there is a well-defined port numbers are there. But I want to get a error message or a ICMP message from the destination. What I can do? I can generate a what you call destination port unavailable. That kind of message if I generate from the destination, then I can able to understand that okay, the destination is sending. Am I right or wrong? And what ICMP message it is sending? Port unavailable. Am I right? If it is can able to send such message, then source can able to understand that okay, router R1, router R2 and destination is there. The same concept we have discussed while we are discussing about the trace route command also. So it will keep some dummy value which is not available or which is not a well-defined port number at the destination. Some dummy value you will keep and you will send the packet first time itself. But why I have not discussed from when I am sending the 100 bytes and 50 bytes of information? Because router R1, router R2 are network layer devices, because it will have only physical layer, data link layer and network layer. It does not have a transport layer. If it does not have a transport layer, the packets will even consist of the source port and destination port. They will not check it. So that's why I have not discussed that point. But however, the destination will have the transport layer and it can check the source port and destination port. And when the destination port is not available or is a dummy port number, which is not a well-defined port number, obviously it will send a error message saying that the destination port is unavailable. Are you able to understand? So it will generate a ICMP packet and will send to the source via router R2, router R1 like that. Now what is happening? Source is able to know that router R1 MTU, router R2 MTU, and it is finding the destination also. It is just finding that this is a destination. So it is identifying that from source to destination it has to go to via R1 and via R2, and it is knowing the MTU of router R1 and router R2. It can take the minimum value and send the packets of that size. then no need to do the fragmentation. I hope you have understood how we will compute the path maximum transmission unit. Is it clear? If you still have any doubts related to this concept, feel free to ask me in the comment section. I will try to clear your doubts in less than 24 hours. Thank you for watching my video. Have a nice day.